Oklahoma Gardening is a production of the Oklahoma Cooperative Extension Service as part of the land grant mission of the Division of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources at Oklahoma State University, dedicated to improving the quality of life of the citizens of Oklahoma through research-based information. Southwood Landscape and Garden Center, Tulsa's source for great gardens, southwoodgardencenter.com. And the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry, helping to keep Oklahoma green and growing. Today on Oklahoma Gardening, we travel to Claremore, Oklahoma for a visit with the Rogers County Master Gardeners. There's a fun children's activity. We walk along the paths by a brook in a lovely shade garden. And we visit a wildflower garden that is more about allowing than landscaping.
Master gardeners work with all ages, including the youngest in the community. Today we're going to look at how Rogers County Master Gardeners have made an impact on the youth. And also John Haase, the county horticulture educator, will tour us through a couple of home gardens.
Well, greetings to the Oklahoma gardening viewers. This is John Haase coming to you from Rogers County, specifically Claremore, Oklahoma. And we're kind of doing a segment here at Will Rogers Park. I have been an extension horticulture educator since 2002. Rogers County is a fairly large county, and we're right in the heart of the Northeast District. There's around 90,000 residents here. We have a four-year university, Rogers State University, and we also have the Will Rogers Memorial, which is just north of us from this park, which is the Will Rogers Park. So if you have a chance to visit, come by this garden and see the other museums that we have here. They're really cool to see. I'd like to put in a plug for the Rogers County Fair. It's at the Claremore Expo in mid-September, so come out and see us. Today we're in Joey's garden, which is a memorial garden that was set up in memory of my wife and I's nephew. This was all donated and with family funds, and we've had friends of his and family and master gardeners help put it all together. It just came together really good, and it's one of the highlights of the park here. And we're at the Teaching Gardens, which is a Master Gardener program, and this is in Will Rogers Park that is just on the west side of downtown Claremore. A big part of my responsibilities in Rogers County is the Master Gardener program, and carried it on since 2002, and we have with us today Mary Steinley. She is the Garden Development Chair for the MGARC, which is the acronym for Rogers County Master Gardeners. Welcome, Mary.
Hi, John.
Tell us a little bit about the Master Gardening program specifically for Rogers County.
Sure, I'd love to, John.
Okay.
We are a group of about 60 members strong, and we participate in a variety of projects throughout the county, such as the Rogers County Home and Garden Show. We also do a garden tour with the SafeNet Domestic Violence Group every summer. We do an Ask a Master Gardener with the retail businesses in town. We also have been developing this teaching garden over the last 3 years, and a significant amount of capital has gone into that to raise funds so that we can expand that garden.
Good. Tell us a little bit about the fundraising we do, as a as a volunteer organization? Because, you know, you have to have funds to create something like this garden.
Sure, absolutely. Fundraising is a big part of what we do. We raise funds just to operate the Master Gardener Association, provide speakers and ongoing educational opportunities.
We have like a spring plant sale.
We have a spring plant sale in April, and that's where the Master Gardeners bring their homegrown plants. And it's gotten to be very popular in the community. People look forward to getting Master Gardener plants. And then in the fall, first Saturday in October, we do a fall festival. And this will be on a little grander scale. We'll still include a plant sale again for the fall, but we will have some entertainment and some booze. Well,
thanks, Mary, for covering the Master Gardener Association part of what we do in Rogers County. It's a pretty neat, large program that, you know, we put together with all the Master Gardener help, and there's a lot of neat things going on here in Rogers County, Master Gardener wise.
Absolutely.
And if you're interested in being a Master Gardener, please contact us. We have a great program going on, and we really welcome you to be a part of our program and all the volunteerism and fellowship that goes with us.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Podowski. I'm with the Rogers County Master Gardeners, and I've helped coordinate the education program here in the county. We go out to schools, any school in the county that wants us, grades K, 1, and 2, and we have a curriculum that meets your needs of that grade level. So for kindergarten, we teach the needs of a plant and do some fun activities where they actually do plant some seeds, and they keep a journal and watch them grow. In grade level 1, we do how they grow and the different parts of the plant. So they learn about the stem and the leaves and the roots and the flowers, and then the function, so form and function of the plant. And in grade 2, what's my favorite, we do beneficial insects, and we teach about all the insects that plants need. And then we do an origami craft with them, and they walk away with either a honeybee or a ladybug. So we do those things, and we also do some outreach to daycares and Head Start. We will go help and work with your children there. All you need to do is contact us, and you can look us up via our website or contact a local Master Gardener. Today we're going to do a fun seed activity with the kids. We are going to read a book called The Reason for a Flower and discover about all different types of seeds. And then we're going to take that information and we're going to build a craft using sponges and toothpicks and maybe glue guns if the toothpicks don't work. Hey guys, thanks for coming out to the garden today. We're going to talk a little bit about seeds. We're surrounded by them, aren't we?
Yes.
Take a look around you. Yeah, because every flower usually produces a seed. So this is a story by Ruth Heller. It's The Reason for a Flower. The reason for a flower is to manufacture or to make seeds. They have a cover of one kind or another. Some grow inside a juicy fruit, and it's not odd to find them growing in a pod. The largest one's a coconut. Did you know a coconut was a seed?
Nope, I heard.
No? So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a little craft. You guys have heard of chia pets. They were around when I was little. Have you seen chia pets?
Yeah.
And they're made with chia seeds. So I brought some chia seeds, but I brought some other kind of seeds because I thought we could do a little experiment, see which one works the best. These are wheat berries, so they're gonna turn into
Berries?
wheat. So you can choose which one you put, or you can use all of them. And then we'll do, as you water them, you can see which one sprouts first, which one does the best. You can do a slow trickle. And the kids get to engineer any kind of shape they want. That's where the STEM activity comes into, science, technology, engineering, and math. And then they'll put seeds on the top and see which one sprouts. So a little bit of a science experiment here. And if the seeds around the outside that fall into the pie tin, if they will sprout at all. And we'll cover the entire pie tin with the dome. And so we'll have a little bit of a water cycle going on in there, and the sponges will stay moist. and they won't have to water. So they'll get 2 lessons in one, seed sprouting and water cycle. So we talked about this a little bit before. What does this dome do?
Make it evaporate the water, and when it evaporates, it kind of rain down.
Okay, it'll rain down, yes, because as the water evaporates, it comes up and hits the top.
Yep.
This type of activity teaches kids about what seeds needs to grow and sometimes what they don't need to grow. Most children think that seeds need the sun to grow, and we're actually doing an activity that doesn't even have any soil. So they're going to see that seeds are pretty hardy and they can grow under a lot of different conditions. This is a great activity to do at home. You can also do it with a small group of children. Sometimes using the sponges and cutting with scissors can be a little bit difficult for younger children, so you might want to have some pre-cut sponges for them. But older children shouldn't have any problems engineering and building whatever they want to, the heart's desire. Okay, so you guys know what these are? Yeah, the Will Rogers zinnias. Yeah, find the old one. That's a new one. So Shelby found, see the old one? Okay, yeah, they're the seeds.
Well, greetings. We're here at remote Claremore, USA, with Carolyn Peterson. We're here to kind of discuss and show you guys some different elements and challenges that go along with shade gardening. So I'm going to take it off with her. It's nice to have you here, Carolyn, and thank you for letting us come into your property and
with
show up.
the rain we've had this year, it was a lot easier than normal to keep things looking nice.
It has been. So since we are back here and it's, you know, fairly private and but it's also shady, can you tell us some of the challenges you do have with shade gardening?
Well, of course, I don't have the blooms that you see in the sunny garden. So I get perennials, so they bloom like the columbine blooms early, and it's now gone. And the hostas do bloom because it's a shade plant.
Right.
But
so there's unique plants, of course, that have to go with shade gardening.
right.
Yeah.
Right. And then I do have problems. My oak leaf hydrangea was attacked by a deer or a few earlier, so it is coming out, but I usually keep a fence around it, but I thought it had gone past the fence stage, so I took the fence off, and then they snuck in one night.
Right. Daring deer, right?
Yeah. I think they like our pasture in the back.
Oh, yeah. The deer are getting more and more domesticated.
They are. And we have quite a few.
Right. Well, let's see what else is up this way. It looks like you've got something neat that is great for a shade garden over here.
The Lenten rose does really well, and it starts blooming in February. And you can see some of the blooms are still on there. I've got 3 different colors here that do well.
Yeah, they take about 80% shade, don't they?
Yes, they do, yeah. They're a great plant too because they're green all the time, and they bloom in February when you just need a ray of sunshine.
Oh, yes, they do. Well, I really like this covering you have. It's just some pea gravel that you found?
Yeah, we buy it and then bring it in, yeah. And you have to pick up the twigs and the leaves and the big branches that fall every now and then. But it's pretty well maintenance free once you get it down.
That's great, yeah. I could see where, I mean, it just defines the bed so well to have something like this.
Yeah. I like to come out in the morning with my cup of coffee and check all the flowers.
Exactly, cool.
And the grandkids like to come and walk through too. They're getting interested in flowers, so they...
yeah, kids would love going around these paths.
Yes.
Maybe at a little faster pace than you want.
Yeah.
And then we're coming to kind of a feature here. Tell us about this waterfall and kind of water course.
Well, I was trying to camouflage the freeway that's behind us, so I thought the water feature would give us a little bit of a noise factor, and it was hard to work with this little hill here, so we came up with this design to, the water recirculates.
Right.
And it gives us just an added attraction for this area.
No, I mean, you made really good use of the lay of the land and how it conforms to that. You
Right.
know, it almost looks natural to me, you know, that it just
Well, that's kind of
follows
what
the
we were
creek.
hoping,
Yeah.
so thank you very much for that. We put it on a timer, so we don't run it during the night,
Right.
just to cut back on the electricity and the use of the pump.
Sure, right. And then the rocks that you put in, are they native? Are they found around here, or did you?
We had somebody come in and they brought a lot of the rocks, and then we used a few that are native. All of these paths are native. We put those in.
Okay, yeah, because this is a kind of a rocky area.
Actually, we found them on this place. Most
Right,
of them.
okay, yeah, there's a lot of sandstone in
When
this.
we were trying to dig a plant, we would have to wait and get the rock out before we would put the plant in.
Because we're at the beginning of the Taiwa Hills.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Well, Carolyn, while we're here, I think the viewers would like to see a little bit of this unique vegetable garden concept that you have that I've seen in books, but really never seen personally. Can you explain this to us?
Well, as I said before, the deer come through here.
Exactly.
And they would eat my tomatoes down, and I would get so aggravated because we love the tomatoes. So I had seen this hoop somewhere, and so my husband helped me devise these hoops. And then I use the net that I take off my pond in the winter, and I move it here and it does a really good job of keeping the deer out and the squirrels and rabbits. And this year I'm having a very good crop with the tomatoes. I do get some shade, so I guess that's good in a really, really hot season, because
Right.
the tomatoes seem to be doing really well.
Yeah, it looks like that. You know, you have enough sun for the tomatoes, because they're
Yeah.
starting to turn orangey red like they're supposed to this time of year, and the tomatoes look really healthy. So that's a great innovation.
It's a little difficult to get in there and weed and so on, but it works to keep the deer out, and that's my main purpose.
Oh,
is
yeah.
Just having a small garden.
Right, exactly. Well, that's a neat concept. It's just like the recycle, reduce, and reuse, you know.
Right.
And you're reusing
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
That's great, and that
Yeah.
definitely, and keeps the birds out too, because I know
Actually,
they
it
would be.
does. Somebody mentioned that the other day, that the birds was eating their tomatoes, and I thought, wow, they're not getting mine.
Well,
I've seen a dragonfly or two in there, but I don't think they eat much.
I don't think so. They may be eating something else bad.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So we really appreciate you being a host, to having us come out and look
Thank
at
you.
your garden, just some of the unique things about it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. We're here at Real Claremore, out at Jennifer Podowski's residence. She's got 20 acres of all kinds of different horticultural delights, and one area that we wanted to highlight today is her wildflower plots. Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on Oklahoma Gardening.
Sure.
And this is kind of a really neat wildflower area that you can kind of tell us a little story about in the midst of the liatris blooming.
Yeah, and this isn't my wildflower plot. This is nature's wildflower. I had
Okay.
nothing to do with this.
Really?
The only thing that I did was recognize what was coming up and let it go.
Cool.
So we mowed just a slim little path down the middle, and then one, of course, down the fence line to maintain fence lines. You know what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
And then just let them come up. Every fall, I'll strip the heads and scatter some more. But this is nature. I had nothing to do with this.
Well, that's really interesting, because I think most people do have that idea that for wildflowers to arise, you have to, you know, plant some out there, but
No.
now you're living proof in a way that, you know, if you just let the grasses and the nature grow, that a lot of wildflowers will come along with it.
Leave it alone and they will come.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's also some native grasses
Grasses.
here too, which is is a neat sign that, you know, nature takes care of itself.
Sure.
So, do you know several of the different wildflowers that you got here?
Well, there's a false indigo that was blooming earlier in the spring.
Right.
And I think we just learned that this one is slender mint.
The type of slender mint.
Slender mint.
Yeah.
And yarrow, of course, is come and gone. That's an early season.
Right.
And the coreopsis has come and gone. That's
Right.
early season too. Walking down a little bit farther down the path is tall rosinweed. And we have bee balm, a lot of bee balm. It likes the partial shade out here.
Right.
And
Rattlesnake master, I think we
Rattlesnake, yep.
named that. And
A lot of thistle. That's okay.
Right.
It's amazing how many butterflies and moths love thistle.
it's exactly.
Yeah.
Some milkweed showing up, it looks like.
Oh, we have the low white milkweed. I think it's the antelope milkweed. Yep, that comes and goes pretty quickly. But everything has its season. So once the liatris dies down, we've got some of the sunflowers. We have the hairy sunflower. We have the Baldwin, I think is ironweed.
Right, Baldwinia.
Field.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well, that's
fun. It's
great.
fun just to stroll and to see
It is.
what's new.
And
And
it's-
passion vine. There's a ton of passion
Oh,
vine.
yeah.
Here. So that's the tall rosinweed. And in front of this, there's a purple,
Yeah.
right? And it looks like a petunia. Yep, right in there.
And of course, up in the other areas, you've got some native Mexican hat.
Yes, we have native Mexican hat, and in the shade areas we have inland sea oats.
Yeah,
Just
nice stand of that.
Huge
right.
clumps of inland sea oats. I love a good
And
shade grass.
You found and transplanted some verbena that's naturally.
Oh, the pink verbena.
Curve?
Yeah,
Right.
that's so pretty. Yeah, it smells really good. And it blooms all summer. I didn't realize it would do that. And this got the bee balm,
bee balm.
In here. It's just finishing, and then a lot of bee balm down farther too.
Right. That's what's amazing is that, you know, I think we've mentioned maybe 10 or 15 varieties already. And of course they are native here, but just to let nature grow and to say, hey, this just came about on its own, that's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
And we do have to take it down in the fall. We brush hog in about late November.
Okay.
Or late October, early November. So brush hog everything down, and then we come back and mow over it with the mower, and that keeps all the sumac down and the trees down and gives space for the seeds to go in.
Good.
But that's all we do.
And we've had a really fortunate rainy kind of spell
This has
and
been a
nice,
great
decent
year.
spring this year
This
too.
has been
So
a
that's been
perfect
a
year
boon for that.
Yep. And then the whole entrance are black-eyed Susans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw those when we were coming in. Those
Yeah,
are
I've had to teach my husband how not to mow over them.
a lot
mow
of
that.
black-eyed Susan. Yeah, that's great. Well, and it's nice to have the contours too and the trees that surround it rather than just being out in the bare open area.
Flat, yeah.
Well, Jennifer, I appreciate you having us out.
Sure. Thanks for
and
coming out.
showing us off your wildflower plots.
Happy to.
It's just amazing to see what nature can do when left to its own devices.
When you
right?
don't spend all day mowing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Let it
There's
go.
a 2 or 3-fold benefit, you know. Gets more butterflies and moths and skippers out.
Bees, yep. A lot
Right.
of native bees out here too.
Great. Well, we really appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for coming.
All right.
There are lots of great horticultural events this time of year. Be sure and consider these activities when you're making your plans for the weeks ahead.
Next week, we are back in Tulsa to explore more of the vegetable garden at Southern Hills Country Club and find out what they do with their harvest. We head out to the highway to get an update on the roadside monarch habitat research. We hope you join us then for more TV you'll grow to love. To find out more information about show topics, as well as recipes, videos, articles, fact sheets, and other resources, including a directory of local extension offices, be sure and visit our website, oklahomagardening.okstate.edu. And we always have great information, answers to questions, photos, and gardening discussions on your favorite social media as well. Join in on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find this entire show and other recent shows, as well as individual segments on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And tune in to our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel to watch segments from previous hosts. Oklahoma Gardening is produced by the Oklahoma Cooperative Extension Service as part of the Division of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources at Oklahoma State University. The Botanic Garden at OSU is home to our studio gardens, and we encourage you to come visit this beautiful Stillwater jewel. We wish to thank our generous underwriters, Southwood Landscape and Garden Center, and the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry. Additional support is provided by Pond Pro Shops, Greenleaf Nursery and the Garden Debut Plants, and the Oklahoma Horticultural Society.